get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. Don't really need down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you're trying to go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. Put it in 10, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Dallas Cowboys. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here we go. Now the 51 come on. You remember me? You remember me?
Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
On third down, Jackson. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
This is taken at the 18. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Lions will take over. Stafford and the Lions now have it first and 10 at their own 23.
Check 26.
Here's Ty Johnson, rookie 6th-rounder from Maryland. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Well, here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen. Bad alert. Check 59.
On second down now, it's Johnson. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. From the 50, Stafford. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that. Marvin Jones, touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Prater for the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Throwing is Jackson. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd and 10. Jackson, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 35.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. A first down carry by Elliott. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson, and the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Damon Harrison bringing in 341 pounds of power for the sack. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to fire one deep left side, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dez Bryant, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that
a throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 20.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe they're returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here we go. Check three.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. Try to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Leighton Vander Esch, 3rd in the NFL in tackles as a rookie last year. There on the stop.
Lady. Mike by 4. Let him know.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here.
The Cowboys take over first and 10.
Let's go.
At their own 31-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He was brought down by Devon Kennard.
2 yards.
For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. From the shotgun, again to Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll run on 1st down. Elliott. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They go play action with Jackson. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
2 yards. First down, Cowboys.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Completes it to Jason Witten. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Elliott. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
From the 17, Jackson. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Damon Harrison able to record his 5th sack of the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. And incomplete, a disappointing drop there defensively by the rookie. And now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move. The Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
when we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
We on now. Joker, three.
On second down, Elliott fighting through it. He's got space. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Marr now to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Let's go, D. Big series right here, so we got to step it up.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Check, waiting. Check. Watch 54. Here we go.
Stafford on first down. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. Well, earlier in the game, it was touchdown.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. He couldn't hook up with Amendola there. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
And he's got room past the 20. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Marr on for the extra point. And the lead is now 24.
Makes the score Cowboys 31, Lions 7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here, and sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On 2nd and 2, Stafford caught on the right side by Jones. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 44-yard line.
23 yards. And the Lions first down.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Come on, fellas.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. Well, the returns for the Cowboys on Leighton Vander Esch have been pretty good so far. You know, a lot of Cowboy Nation questioned when they took him number 19 overall a season ago instead of Calvin Ridley. But Leighton Vander Esch would get 140 tackles last year, franchise rookie record for Dallas en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. Stafford delivers this to Hockenson, and they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 21 yards.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Stafford now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Now Johnson. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
That's complete right around the 8. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Monday. Mike 55, Mike 55. Here we go. Mike.
Stafford now to throw. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kenny Golladay as the first half is winding down. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. Extra point good by Prater. And that'll cut this to a 17-point spread. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start. At the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Let's get off the field, D.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. Pushing his way through. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Might want to remember that 3rd down play. 37 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
I know you ain't got it. Kill.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
Hey, 70!
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Push him back. Check three. Watch safety creep. Safety's creeping. Deuce.
They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard carry. It does put him just a few yards short of the goal line, but 4th down coming up.
Brings up 4th down and goal.
So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And that will close the gap down to 14. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Play action. It's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage.
He's coming, double up.
Out of the gun, it's Elliott. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
He can run for it, and he will. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago.
First down, Dallas.
They can't hang with us.
On first down, it's Elliott. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Come on. Check, 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 check. Check your hot read. Check. 32. Check.
Again, it's Johnson. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
54, right there, 54, Mike. You ain't going nowhere.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. Now a play fake here on first down. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 16 yards, a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Now throwing on first down and completing it. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. To throw again, Stafford. Steps away to his left. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. He's at the 50. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Exit.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
To throw again on second down, Jackson. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Flush to his right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing again on second down. Jackson. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Devon Kennard in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Third down. 3rd and 1.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Jackson from the shotgun. On the move to his left. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound, Brandon, no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at about the 32. Here's Johnson. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Jones. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down.
A gain of 15 yards. That's another Detroit Lions 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 40.
Stafford now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Get him! Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4. Hey, tank. Shoot. He's coming.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
32. 54. Mike 54. Cut.
Here's Stafford. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off Byron Jones, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. He will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Hey, 5-0! Check.
Here's Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Switch. Come on, Muhammad, move.
Now Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
Good job, fellas.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Stafford. He's going to let it fly. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20, 10, touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Golladay, 79 yards, as his guys are back within a single score.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. They get one more as the extra point's up and good, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try the sweep with Elliott. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up in what's been so far a tough game for them. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Jackson to throw. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding third and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Cowboys, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to New England to take on the Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Lions, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.